Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon out there in Beloit land. Welcome to the 2020 Convocation, or Calling Together of Beloit College, a celebration of the new academic year, Beloit's 174th. My name is Eric Boynton. I'm Provost and Dean of the college. On behalf of all the faculty and staff at Beloit College, I welcome all the new first year and transfer students to the college. I also welcome all continuing students, faculty, and staff, whether you've just returned to Beloit or have been here for the summer, as well as any alumni or friends of the college listening in, having the opportunity for this electronic peeking in at Convocation. Welcome to you all. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the land on which we gather, although electronically, is a sacred indigenous space located within the ancestral territories of the sovereign Sac, Fox, Ho-Chunk, and Potawatomi nations, as recognized by treaties of the nations and the United States of America. In many ways, this is an extraordinary year. We are all new to Beloit, even seasoned veterans at the college, long-serving faculty and staff, or members of our senior class will have an experience at the college this year that will be new and surprising. In this COVID moment, we are all back at Beloit again for the first time. We have in this moment a remarkable opportunity. Our community is uniquely united in this moment by our resolve to create an extraordinary fall semester at Beloit for each other. Like always, we will learn in every nook and cranny of this amazing institution, in and outside the classroom, or in buildings or outside in tents, as the case may be this fall. As I like to remind people, Beloit is a college that was around long before you and I were here, and it'll be around long after you and I are gone. But at the same time, the college really is only the people who inhabit it now. The college, the institution, is us. So Beloit College only is what it is when each of us belong to this thing that is both much larger than ourselves collectively, but is only us. So let's be all in. There's no better time. So welcome again to Beloit College, and welcome to all of us, this wonderful opening of our 174th year. I'm pleased to invite President Scott Bierman to grab the spotlight, as he can make his own remarks about the beginning of Beloit's 174th year and your role in it. President Bierman.
Thanks, Eric. Welcome, Beloiters. It is great to have you with us, whether you're here in Wisconsin or somewhere else across the globe. While we wish all of you could be here, we will happily enjoy whatever fraction of you we are able to get this year. Melody and I took a walk around campus on Saturday night, and what we saw was admittedly a sight for this moment in this moment, but also spectacularly encouraging. As we passed by Teak, 4 students were sitting on their porch, all wearing masks and all well away from each other and all laughing and talking over each other and sharing summer stories and doing all the things that Beloiters have done for 174 years when they returned to campus. They were just doing them with masks and distance. As we passed by Aldrich, the field was alive with students playing all sorts of games and talking in wonderfully animated ways with each other. Everyone I saw had on a mask, and everyone I saw was paying attention to safe space, and everyone I saw looked to be having a great time. I came away thinking how very, very important it is for us to be together, as many of us as possible. The masks and distance are impediments for sure, and we look forward to a Beloit where they are not needed, but right now, they are. I was also hit upside the head with a great truth. The magic of a residential campus is that it is, well, residential. I am not revealing secrets to tell you that many members of the faculty and staff are nervous about a return together. While there are lots of reasons for nervousness, among them are a concern that the temptations to not follow necessary rules will be too difficult. The temptations of the moment will win out, which will lead to wider outbreaks of the virus. Faculty and staff have families, children, elderly parents, they have underlying health concerns, all of which are real. By coming back together, we have all embraced a solemn responsibility. This is a moment when good enough is not good enough. each of us, is putting our trust in each of us to care about each of us. We need to be a community more than we ever have needed it, and the stakes are high. It is about health and wellness and life and death. It is also about, as Cecil Youngblood wrote a few days ago, 6 feet apart or 600 miles apart. We are a residential college, and as I was reminded on Saturday night, we are a much better place as a residential college. You know the pathway. Wash your hands, wear a mask, keep some distance, check your symptoms, boom. Demonstrate that you care, because I am confident that you do. At the core of my walk around campus on Saturday night was a moment in which your care for yourselves and each other shone through. Keep on shining on. Tomorrow morning, classes will start, and for first-year students, you will begin in earnest this great educational journey. If you engage, and I hope all of you do, you will have your world expanded by orders of magnitude. You will see pathways to futures you never could have otherwise seen. You will make connections across people, across space, across time that will spin you around while opening up vistas unimaginable. You will find passion and meaning in places that are opaque or even unseeable, and all of this will start to unfold in the next couple of weeks. You will have help, lots of it, from faculty and staff and other students on this call right now who will challenge you relentlessly to challenge yourself. I spent some time over the weekend unraveling a lengthy national survey first-year students took last winter before we went to remote learning. One of the questions was this one. During the current school year, about how often have you learned something that changed the way you understand an issue or concept? Isn't that why you are here? Shouldn't college be a place that changes lives, that changes you, the way you come to understand the world around you, that changes how you engage with that world? Often, or very often, was the response given by over 80% of the students, 4/5 of the class. What this means is that virtually all engaged students at Beloit are on this transformative path of investigation and discovery to a very bright future. And in the midst of this, and this is where the residential part really, really matters, you will start making the best friends you will ever have in your life. Your go-to people for the rest of your life are somewhere on this campus right now, or will be somewhere on this campus as soon as we can get back more of you to Beloit. You will learn boatloads from them that you will draw on as your successes mount in the future over and over. You will learn as much from them as you will from your classes. There is little more important to a great future than surrounding yourself with really interesting people, with really diverse backgrounds and experiences, who really love you and who will be with you for a lifetime. And that will happen to you. It may already have started happening. It sure looked that way to me on Aldrich Field on Saturday night. So here's something I never expected to say in an opening convocation. Let me soon mute myself and get out of the way for others, including our featured speaker, one of my very favorite colleagues, Professor Sonia Johnson. If I were starting college, I would be trying to take as many courses from Sonia Johnson as I could possibly get into. But first, let me introduce two good friends. Among the way that Beloit College students are most fortunate is to have two of the finest student leaders in the country. They are generous, thoughtful, kind, funny, spectacularly smart, and they have my ear whenever they ask for it. I turn the spotlight over to my friends Saad Hassan and Pratik Rapwadi. It is great seeing all of you as best we can on this screen. I look forward to meeting you. Over to you, Saad and Pratik.
Hello, my fellow Beloiters, faculty, staff members, and friends of the college. It is an absolute honor to be here and speak to all of you. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Saad Hassan, a senior from Pakistan who is serving as the co-president for the Beloit student government. This convocation speech is one of the BSG responsibilities I have been looking forward to the most, as it is an opportunity to shape the way a class at Beloit thinks. Not in my wildest dreams had I thought that I would be doing this speech on some application called Zoom. But we are in the middle of one of the worst global pandemics, so we must adapt accordingly. Looking back, we saw times between today and March that were pretty tough. We faced a virus that infected about 21.1 million people and claimed the lives of 844,000. Beloit had to adjust as well. We had to continue our education online from all over the world. Other problems in our system were also highlighted, especially the embodiment of racism in the institutions. The murder of George Floyd and the recent shooting in Kenosha of Jacob Blake were further evidence of this. Then, Beloit recently faced another huge loss, the sudden death of Professor Ranjan Roy, one of the most decorated professors Beloit has ever had. While others may know him for his brilliant mathematical mind, I, along with all of his other students, saw him as a true mentor who redefined how we thought about mathematics. But for today, let us acknowledge all the hard work that got us into this moment. Today, let us appreciate all the people who helped us get here. Appreciate all the people who have been working in person so that we have this on-campus experience. And I strongly believe that this has allowed us to be more united, stronger as a campus community, and we need to be stronger for the challenge that lies ahead. Looking ahead now, specifically addressing to my fellow Beloit students, our ability to be on campus in the fall is a privilege. A number of people stemming from staff, administrators to professors and housekeeping staff, and many others are putting their health at risk for us to have this on-campus experience. They are exposing themselves to the decisions that we as college students make. Now I know we claim that is our actions that define our education. My fellow Beloiters, now the world is watching. We have seen cases of multiple schools around the country who have closed due to the fact that their students were short-sighted and preferred one night of enjoyment over the experience they could have had this semester. As we say goodbye and thank Fred Burwell for his 34 years of service, I would like for whoever takes his place to talk about us. Talk about when every other school in the country was closing, we, the classes of 21, 22, 23, and 24 got together and showed the world that we can stay open. Now I know it won't be easy. Our resolve will be tested every day. The decisions we make every day will decide if we keep everyone safe. Now, the only way as a community we can stay healthy is through the idea that self-care is community care. That means we must individually take care of ourselves through wearing masks, practice social distancing, and only when we do this will we be able to keep our community safe. Now remember, if even one of us fails to hold up our end, we will be putting the entire Beloit community's health at risk. Now, my fellow Beloiters, I ask you, can you live with that? Because I cannot. And now I would ask Patrick to continue.
Thank you, Saad. Hello, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Patrick Rupvate. I'm a senior from India and a co-president of the Beloit Student Government. It has been a pleasure welcoming all the incoming freshmen, exchange, and returning students to the college over the past few days. I chose to live in Beloit since the pandemic started in March, and I can attest that Beloit College is indeed the people who inhabit it. It has been rather dull without the rush at Commons, the constant hustle and bustle at the wall, and the loud, rowdy lunch breaks at DKs between classes. The spirit of the faculty, staff, and most importantly, the students, breathes life into our 174-year-old institution. The BSG social workforce was tasked with creating behavioral expectations and updating the student statement of culture over the summer. These outline how students should practice physical distancing, wearing face coverings, and general living on campus during this pandemic. I am very proud and more than slightly relieved to see everyone wearing masks, keeping 6 feet distance, and respecting each other during the short period that we have been on campus so far. Regarding social gatherings and parties, we need to shift them outside as much as possible. The college now has more outdoor tables and benches. We also have tents and space heaters for the colder months. The block party this past Saturday evening was a testament to the shifting culture we desire and need in Beloit. We can expect many more such outdoor parties and activities this year. Another student gathering spot is the Powerhouse. With the track and the field house completed and ready for use, Beloit College adds to its repertoire of spaces and used for athletics and recreation. We will have intramural sports and several other recreational activities throughout the year. Expect more information on those soon. I wish everyone the best for this year. Please do not hesitate to come up to me with any questions, concerns, or for any advice. I would now like to invite Eric back to continue the program.
Thank you, Pratik. A pleasure. I'm now pleased to introduce this year's keynote speaker for this afternoon, Dr. Sonia Maria Johnson, Professor of Religious Studies and Critical Identity Studies, and the 2020 winner of the Underkoffler Award for Excellence in Teaching. She will discuss being a Beloiter and meeting this moment. Since joining Beloit faculty in 2016, Dr. Johnson's impact on students has been immeasurable. She's often described as a dedicated, life-changing mentor who embodies, the college's mission statement to engage the intelligence, imagination, and curiosity of our students to approach the complex problems of the world ethically and thoughtfully. I, for one, am eager to see what she has to say, or better, knowing Dr. Johnson, how she intends to engage us this afternoon. Dr. Johnson, please take it away.
Thank you so much for that warm introduction. And can we get a hand clap for our co-presidents? Students, your statements were absolutely exceptional and really speak to the kind of excellence that I know we have here by way of our students. I begin by acknowledging those who have gone before us, who have made our lives possible. Their lives, their sacrifices are our foundation. Next, I extend my appreciation to the students who nominated me for the Underkoffler Award and to the selection committee of past recipients who saw how my work aligns with the craft of being a teacher scholar. I also wish to thank the Alliant Energy Foundation for supporting the passion project that is undergraduate teaching. Next, I turn my gratitude to all staff members of our community whose time, love, and tireless efforts and labor have made it possible for us to continue to be together, even when physically apart. Beyond being essential, you all have been exceptional and effective. Thank you for making our home safe. To my faculty colleagues who have been tireless in ensuring our students are grounded in their educational pursuits to make our world humane and just, I thank you. That unwavering commitment got our students through and brought them back. Well done. We did it, and I had full faith that you all will do it again this year. To the leadership teams of senior staff, thank you for your steadfast commitment and work around the clock. Your careful and empathetic stewardship has kept us focused on our collective purpose. This brings me to my final point of gratitude to our students, especially the incoming class. You all dare to follow your dreams to Beloit. Your commitment to keeping our community healthy and safe in all the ways we need right now is service of the highest order. Well done. Keep it up. I appreciate your listening to my lengthy list of gratitude. I believe it is always necessary to tell people precisely and in real time how they enrich your life. And so I take the time to be deliberate and intentional with extending that care to you all. Now, I turn my attention explicitly to the incoming class, future Beloit College alumni of 2024. Congratulations on your choice of making Beloit College your home in which to create your future. Yours is an excellent choice, and my comments today entitled, Being a Beloiter and Meeting This Moment, speak to the power of your presence here. So, early career students and transfers, I'm talking to you. I want to share a note that I received from a former student, Matthew Blackwell, whom I had the pleasure of teaching 7 years ago at another institution when I was a new professor and the ink on my diploma had not yet dried. Matthew wrote to me on March 24th of this year, before we were fully conscious of the severity of several intersecting global pandemics, COVID-19, the reckoning of everyday and structural racial inequities and violence, all taking place within the context of social and environmental extremes. However, at that time, my former student Matthew wrote me this, Dr. Johnson, As the world is grappling with a very pressing pandemic, I have shifted my focus inward for a brief moment to check on you. I know that education as a whole has become rather innovative, to say the least. That comes with a myriad of adjustments, I'm sure. In all, I just wanted to make sure that you, your family, as well as the students, it's talking about you, are in great health and peace. Have a wonderful week on purpose and be safe. Matthew's words touched me profoundly and have allowed me to recalibrate, be energized, and have given me great solace, especially his comment on being on purpose. Today, I want to discuss how being a Beloiter and meeting this extraordinary moment means that you are being on your purpose in some very important ways. So what does it mean to be on purpose? Well, I did what any good student of life does. I looked it up. According to the Oxford Dictionary of English, purpose is the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists, a person's sense of resolve. Let me repeat that so we can reflect on it together. Purpose is the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists, a person's sense of resolve. And true to what I've learned we do here at Beloit, I began to play with this idea, pulling it apart, putting it back together with new pieces, and I put it in that special Beloit sauce. And this is what I came up with. Being on purpose, Beloit style, means being intentional, curious, resolved, and courageous. Now let me tell you what each one of these means and how they relate to your purpose at Beloit College in meeting this moment. To be on purpose at Beloit, you need to be intentional. To be intentional means that you have to assemble a vision for how you want to think about things, identify problems to solve, conjure ideas to explore and develop, and discover what skills embolden you to do all of these things and more. Perhaps you came to Beloit affirmed that you want to be a teacher, writer, professor, advocate, physicist, geologist, entrepreneur, lawyer, or perhaps a medical doctor. Perhaps you're in the earlier phases of drafting your intention. Good. Whatever your case may be, notice what really captures your imagination and build on it. Part of your intention then, above and beyond assembling your academic foundations, is to determine how you will go about being that future self. What qualities will help you accomplish that in your fashion? What new approaches make sense for you to test out here? I share one of many examples that a recent alumna has as her intentional Beloit vision. She intends to be a dentist and wants to establish her practice in an underserved community. So part of her focus here was learning about how to make her waiting areas culturally inclusive, even before she graduated. Fortunately, you have many collaborators and mentors to help you craft your intention, including the staff members you interact with every day, your AMP advisors, professors, and a very deep pool of alumni. What I have found is consistent among Beloit students is that you all have a very deep passion for service interlaced with compassion and resolve. Develop that. When you have an intention, even a draft intention, you can use it to continually assess if you are moving towards or away from it with your choices. Accelerate into your intention, or if need be, recalibrate it. Next, being curious is crucial to being on your purpose as a new Beloiter in this moment. This is where you can use the integrative learning goals to help you check in on yourself about your progression as an effective communicator and working with others. Ask yourself, are you seeking to be agile in your thinking? Being curious means being able to take risk to challenge your edges. Now, this is a hard yet fundamental practice to develop because being curious means that you have to learn how to be uncomfortable and learn how discomfort offers necessary feedback from yourself to yourself about what needs further exploration without judgment. Curiosity about your discomfort, can help you identify and grapple with what ideas or behaviors you need to release that are no longer serving or aligned with your intention. In doing so, you can discover the seeds of your transformation, our transformation. All of these embedded within the hard moments which seem impassable and impossible. In this way, our campus is your lab to try out ideas, practices, and skills. In the classroom and in your social curriculum, you have rich testing grounds for creating new possibilities beyond what we could ever imagine. Find ways to connect meaningfully through channels, clubs, study groups, floor mates, teammates, the person you pass in Hamilton's. A simple greeting will get you started. It sounds like y'all are on to a good track. You'll find, as I did, that Beloit is a place to nurture many different sides of yourself and to let them inform each other. One example I can offer is how I use my passion for teaching to challenge fear. About 2 years ago, I had the pleasure of having some of the founding members of the Buccaneer Boathouse in my class. I received an invitation from Henry to come to the grand opening. Now, full disclosure, I'm terrified of deep water. As you early career Beloiters will soon find out, staff and faculty will pretty much do anything to support our students. So I put on my sunscreen and sassy sunglasses, gathered my curiosity to give me courage, and drove to the boathouse. Sarah Rose secured my life vest and also pushed Henry and me out in our canoe. And I paddled, and I was terrified. Yet, as we stayed upright and made our way upriver, I gained confidence, and enjoyment and excitement began to dissolve my fear. What made this transformation of fear possible was that I trusted my students to care for me just as they had put their trust in me to take them through the difficult content of learning about race, social inequities, and how different communities use their religious practices to enact social change. I'm happy to report that my first time in a canoe went swimmingly. You see what I did there? I share this story as an example of how fear can be utilized as a powerful resource, how curiosity and trust in challenging moments can teach you and others about being inside out. Inside out means bringing the depth of your humanity to hold space and be with others in community. Challenge yourselves to develop curiosity as a method to productively engage your fears now to meet this moment. And this leads me to my next point of being on purpose as a Beloiter, and it's being resolved. Being resolved at this time means being willing to phase out or sacrifice that which no longer serves your intention. However, rather than thinking about sacrifice as contraction and loss, here, think about it as realignment, a way to create space to allow for the abundance of expanded options and insights, opportunities, now for your future self and for our community. Being resolved as a Beloiter means deciding that your ideas, your dreams are worth your time and deserve to be tested. One powerful way that you all are actively practicing this resolve is by putting your fullest efforts toward ensuring that our campus stays healthy and safe so that we can be here. I'm quite proud to observe the seriousness with which I see students practicing social distancing and wearing a mask when walking around. Resolve Beloiter style in this moment is you being vigilant about making the next effective choice to prioritize community health for all of us, moment to moment, hour to hour, day to day. Your willingness to level up in this profound responsibility and be on purpose for all our sakes in sacrificing aspects of your early college years is resolve in action, Beloiter style. Keep it up. Finally, new Beloiters, being in this moment means being courageous. This means pressing into being a community in very different ways than the legacies we've inherited and what we have even been taught and practiced before now. Hear well, this does not mean to dismiss or disparage our legacies. It means to be with them differently. based on a refreshed sense of intentionality, curiosity, resolve, and courageous acceptance. The kind of acceptance I'm talking about is not passive, politely resigned, nor is it despair. Being a courageous Beloiter at this moment means not remaining siloed in the groups and spaces that share our same ideas, practices, embodiments, our same skin color. The kind of courage this moment is asking of you, new Beloiters, of all of us, is to be vulnerable and radically accepting of the humanity of others and of ourselves. When you radically accept the work in progress that is your humanity, you are better able to release the counterfeit security that fear and isolation offer. Being courageous Beloiter style means allowing another's pain to teach you, even as your pain is teaching you, and to allow these precious resources to help you nurture and to be on your purpose. In conclusion, being a Beloiter and fully meeting this moment is to identify your purpose, bring to it your focused attention, curiosity, resolve, and courage, to be vulnerable through radical acceptance, and dare to bring full attention to the small moments, especially when you think no one is watching. We are at a profound social moment that brings powerful emotions, fear, anxiety, hate, and even grief. Yet, how can you use these different fuels to be transformed into the love of your purpose and to feed our community's purpose in this moment? New Beloiters, you've been practicing for this moment for all of your lives. Infuse our community with the power that is your purpose this year and all your years here at Beloit. Welcome, and take very good care of yourselves and of all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonia. I think hats off. And then if we were in the chapel, we would stand at this point. Everyone should stand.
Oh.
And to give a rousing applause. Go ahead and stand, everybody.
No. No, not gonna stand. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
What a kickoff to the year. What a wonderful opening. I want to thank President Bierman, BSG co-presidents Saad Hassan, Patik Rupwate, and especially Dr. Johnson for their contributions to this convocation, the calling together of our community. I hope the spirit in this room, the one that Dr. Johnson was able to conjure, even in this Zoom moment, which is astounding, the conjuring of this community that she was able to establish right here in our presence electronically. I hope that extends to all members of our community and extends into the weeks and months ahead as we engage each other in this really extraordinary time. I'm wishing the best to all of you have a fabulous first mod. And I look forward to seeing you either sometimes in person, but oftentimes on the Zoom. And have a wonderful beginning. And thank you very much.